Hello and welcome to this new Python language lesson. In this simple lesson we will talk about functions, how to use them and almost everything about them. It will be a very interesting lesson. Let's get started. In Python, a function is a group of related statements that performs a specific task. Functions help break our program into smaller and modular chunks. As our program grows larger and larger, functions make it more organized and manageable. Furthermore, it avoids repetition and makes the code reusable. Here you can see the syntax of functions in Python programming language. So let's talk about a few points to create a Python function correctly. We define functions in Python using the keyword def. The function name is used to uniquely identify the function. Function naming follows the same rules of writing identifiers in Python programming language. We use parameters and arguments in Python to pass values to a function. They are optional. Also, we put a colon to mark the end of the function header directly after the parentheses of the function. You can put optional documentation string or docstring to describe what the function does. One or more valid Python statements that make up the function body. Statements must have the same indentation level for spaces as usual. An optional return statement is used to return a value from the function. Let's start writing a function in order to apply to it everything we said. We can create a function that writes the Fibonacci series to an arbitrary boundary. We will just start writing the function via the word def, and the name of this function is fib. This function has a single argument called n, and we put this argument in between the parentheses of the function. Then we place a colon to mark the end of the header of this fib function. Now let's write the code inside of this function in order to get them to do something. Just type a, b equal to 0 and 1 while a is smaller than n. Print a and end a comma b equal to b comma a plus b and an empty print function. The first statement of the function body can optionally be a string literal. This string literal is the function's documentation string or docstring. There are tools which use docstrings to automatically produce online or printed documentation, or to let the user interactively browse through code. It's good practice to include docstrings in code that you write, so make a habit of it. And here on the third line we set the values of a and b. The value of variable a is 0 and the value of variable b is equal to 1. And then we started the while loop using the while keyword we previously learned. To create the loop, and its condition is a is smaller than n. Then inside the body of the while loop we use the print function to print the values of a and end, and then we made the value of a equal b, and we made the value of b equal a plus b. Then outside the body of the while loop, but inside the fib function, we put the print function empty in order to print the Fibonacci series of the number that we will type when we call this function.